Hey y'all, I'm sorry that I'm not here today, but I did want to go over a couple problems from the notes on Friday with you before you try this again, because I know some of you weren't here. So if you hadn't already, go to the back of the room and grab this paper out of the pocket. The worksheet is in there as well, but it just says number 4, number 5, multiplying and dividing. So let's look at down here, number 5. We did 1 through 4 on this left side, but let's look at 5 real quick. So what you want to do when you have two rationals and they're being multiplied, you're trying to simplify them. You want to cancel stuff out. Before you can do that though, you have to factor. So if we look at this one, we've got 5, we've got x plus 1. Those are pretty simple. We can't really do anything with them. But then we have x squared minus 6x minus 7. So you can either do x game or you can type them into Desmos. Remember, if you type them into Desmos, see where it hits the x-axis and you're doing the opposite. So if you do that on this one, it would cross at -1 and +7. So you would want to flip it and it would be x minus 7, x plus 1. Or like I said, if you're doing the x game, same thing, -7, +1, because that multiplies to be -7, but then it adds to be -6. Then on the bottom of that, we have 3x minus 21. There's not an x squared. I can't do the x game, but I can bring out a GCF. So I bring out a 3. And then if I divide 3 divided by 3, that's 1. So that's just x. 21 divided by 3 is 7. So x minus 7. Then when you get here, you're trying to cancel out things that are the same. They have to be exactly the same signs, everything. One on top, one on the bottom. So if we look, we have x minus 7 on the top, x minus 7 on the bottom, so they can cancel. X plus 1 on top, x plus 2 on the bottom, they can cancel as well. So then we're just left with 5/3. Okay, let's look at 6. So same kind of thing on 6. We want to factor it first. So up top, I've got 9x plus 18. Again, there's no x squared. It's only 2 terms, so I'm not doing the x game or anything. I'm just doing GCF. So I'll bring out a 9. And then that'll leave me x plus 2 on the inside.
Not sure where you...
Okay, sorry. So then down here, we've got x squared minus 2x minus 8. That is a trinomial. There's 3 terms. So again, x games, multiplies to be -8, adds to be -2, or put it in Desmos and do the opposite. Either way, you're going to have x minus 4, x plus 2. And then on our top one over here, we've got 3x minus 12. Again, no x squared. It's not going to be a trinomial, but I can bring out a 3, and that'll leave me x minus 4. And then 6x, no adding or subtracting, so just leave that as it is. No, these are gone. Okay, then we want to cross out again what's the same. So I've got x plus 2, x plus 2, x minus 4, x minus 4. So then that leaves me 9 times 3, so 27 on top, and 6x on the bottom. Let me grab a calculator. So when you're left with two numbers, like the last one we just had 5/3, both of those are prime, it's not going to simplify. But 27/6 does. So remember, you type it in, 27 divided by 6, then math enter, and so it reduces to 9/2. So then your final answer on this one would be 9/2, and then leave the x down there with it. Okay, let's look at the right side, do a couple of dividing, because I think we only did like 2 on Friday. So let's look at number 6. So number 6, it is dividing. Remember, if it's dividing, you want to keep, change, flip. So you want to keep the first fraction the same. So I'm just going to bring it over exactly the same. I'm going to bring it down here actually. Now, if you want to go ahead and factor that when you bring it down, you can, but I'm going to kind of do it separate. So we keep the first one the same. We change division to multiplication. and then we're gonna flip that second fraction. So first fraction stays the same, division goes to multiplication, second fraction flips. So that looks like this. Okay, so everything on the bottom comes to the top, everything on the top goes to the bottom. Then when you get here, you can go ahead and factor it again, GCF, trinomial, whatever you got. So up top, we've got m squared minus 2m minus 8. We just factored that one on our last problem, and we said that was m minus 4, m plus 2. I don't have a lot of room. Okay. Again, x game, opposite, Desmos, whatever. Then on the bottom, we have 8m plus 24. Of course, that one's going to be GCF. Bring out an 8. So we get m plus 3. Then on the right side, we've got m squared plus 7m plus 12. Again, x game, Desmos, opposite, whatever. We'll get m plus 4, m plus 3. And then bottom of that, we can bring out a 2, which will leave me m minus 4. And I know there's a bunch of stuff going on this one. But you want to cancel out what's the same. Again, it has to be exactly the same. Like I cannot cancel out m plus 4 and m minus 4. They don't match, okay? But I do have an m minus 4 right here and an m minus 4 right here, so those will cancel out. And then I also have an m plus 3, those cancel. And then that's about it. So on top, I still have m plus 2 and m plus 4. And on the bottom, I have 8 times 2, so 16. And some of you might look at that and be like, oh, well, you can do 2 times 4 and be 8. And no, once you get here, just stop. Don't try to multiply it out. Don't try to simplify it any more than this. Just leave it like this in factored form. All right, let's look at 8. So same kind of thing happening on 8. It is dividing, so we want to keep, change, flip. So I'm keeping the first one the same. So first fraction stays the same. Then I'm changing division to multiplication. And then I'm going to flip that second fraction. So x minus 5 now is on top, and 2x plus 6 is now on the bottom. And then again, we want to factor. So first one, we've got x squared minus x minus 12. Type it in Desmos and do the opposite, do the x game, whatever you want to do. You'll end up with x minus 4, x plus 3. And then the x minus 4, that's as simple as it can be. X minus 5, that's as simple as it can be. But then we have 2 x plus 6. We could bring out a 2 and be x plus 3. And then we've got x minus 4 on the top, x minus 4 on the bottom, so those can cancel. X plus 3 on top, x plus 3 on the bottom, those can cancel. And then all we have left on top is x minus 5. And then on the bottom, we just have 2. All right, 2 more. Let's look at 10 and 12, and then I'll let y'all get working. So if we look at 10, there's no adding or subtracting. So remember, if there's no adding or subtracting, you are just simplifying the numbers in the calculator. So if we look, we've got 24 times 15 on the top. So that gives us 360. And then I'm going to bring my x to the third down and my y squared. And then on the bottom, 25 times 8. And we get 200. And then a y to the fifth and an x squared. You can simplify the numbers. Like you can simplify well, you can't really on this one, but so you can simplify at the beginning if you want to. But then sometimes you end up having to simplify the numbers at the end. So that's why I just go ahead and multiply them and then just simplify it at one time. So we've got 360 over 200. Hopefully the music does not start playing. Yay. And so then we math enter, and there we go. So 9 over 5. So that takes care of our numbers. And then we just want to look at the x's and the y's. So remember, what you're doing on these is you are subtracting the exponents. So if I look at the x's, I have x to the third, and I have x squared. So 3 minus 2 is 1, and that's positive, so it goes up top. And then for the y's, we've got y squared on the top, y to the 5th on the bottom. 2 minus 5 is negative 3, so that goes on the bottom. Remember, since it's on the bottom, it becomes positive, and then that would be your final answer. All right, one more. Let's look at 12. So 12, it is dividing, so we want to change flips. So I'm going to keep this first one the same. Change division to multiplication, and then flip that second fraction. And then we want to factor if we can. Really the only thing I can factor is this 3x plus 12. I can bring out a 3, and that'll leave me x plus 4 inside. And then what that does is it lets me cancel out this x plus 4 and this x plus 4. So on the top I've got 3 times 48, which is 144 x to the third over 12x. And then we know we can divide 144 divided by 12 is actually just 12. And then x to the third divided by x, 3 minus 1 is 2, so x squared. And then you don't have anything left in the denominator, so that's it. You can just leave it 12x squared. There are some on your Delta Math like that. If you need to put like 12 over 1, you can do that, but you don't have to. It's not necessary. Okay. So now I want you to finish that worksheet that I gave you on Friday, the multiplying and dividing. Again, if you weren't here, worksheet and notes are in the back of the room in the white crate. Okay. Remember to be respectful, and I will see y'all tomorrow.